So in this video I'm going to show you how to switch between using test benches to simulate and using the graphical waveform editor to simulate. So I've already set up my test bench and I've hooked it to Modelsim, and see the previous video for how to do that if you don't know how. So I'm here and I can pull up my wave file and go to zoom full, and I can see figure 2.16. So now I want to go do a waveform simulator instead. So what I might do is, let me go ahead and get out of Modelsim. Yes. And I might go ahead and say New, University Program Vector Waveform File, VWF. And then I double click, just like we saw last time I've got separate videos on how to simulate using one of these guys. And then you go ahead and draw your waveform that you want to simulate. Okay, so I've drawn figure 2.16 here. And let's go ahead and do a Qsim on this. And we'll save it out. And it automatically goes ahead and switches all the internal settings that need to be switched to do a functional simulation or a timing simulation. So moving from a test bench with Modelsim to Qsim is actually pretty easy. To go back isn't so bad. What you have to do is you have to just go through and reset the simulation settings. So here you can see it went ahead and assigned this to a different directory, and it switched your type to Verilog HDL instead of VHDL. So all we have to do is we have to switch it back to simulation Modelsim, which is what I like to use, and then switch this back to VHDL. And then, of course, if you haven't yet set up a test bench, you'll have to go through the steps that I explained in the other video to set up a new test bench. In this case, I did the VHDL test bench first, then I went to Qsim, and now I'm going back. So this is all set up already. So I have belt-worn VHD test, design instance I1. All these settings are as you expect. So we're here, and now once I've switched all those settings back, and the most common thing to forget to do is to switch the directory structure. So you can see now I'm back to simulating based on my test bench. So moving back and forth between the graphical simulator where you draw waveforms and the test benches where you're using this in text is not so hard. You do have to remember to go to Assignments, Settings, Simulation, and reset these couple of little settings.